Welcome to You're Cordially Invited, the show that brings you candid and informal interviews with some of the best wedding professionals in the Washington, D.C. metro area. We hope that you enjoy the show, and at the end, we hope that we have inspired you to take these individuals along on your next social affair. Hello and welcome to You're Cordially Invited, the show that brings you intimate conversations with some of the best wedding professionals in the Washington, D.C. metro area. And today in our studio we have Miss Jennifer Reitmeyer, president of MyDeejay. And today we're going to talk about music, entertainment, and DJ services and how you can incorporate lively music within your social event. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. So, a female in the industry where it's predominantly dominated by males.
That it is.
Yes, it is. So, tell us a little bit about MyDeejay, how you got started in this male-dominated industry.
Sure. Well, I actually founded MyDeejay back in 2003 with my former partner. He and I had actually both worked for another DJ agency in the area. And while it was a great experience in many ways, we also learned a lot about how not to run a DJ business. And we really felt like we could put together a better business model that really put clients first and emphasized, integrity. So we founded it in 2003, and it's been 11 years, and we've been flourishing ever since.
Wow.
I run the company by myself now, but I have a fantastic team behind me.
Okay. And speaking of your team, let's talk about the DJs and their capabilities. Can you kind of discuss who you have on your team and the levels of the range of music and knowledge that they have?
Sure. We have a fantastic, diverse team. We have 12 DJs, and I'm really proud to say that I feel like our DJs represent really the wide variety of clientele that we have. All of our DJs are very polished and professional. Mm-hmm. They range in age from mid-late 20s to late 30s. They're all educated, career professionals. But as far as their music, we're really able to accommodate a wide variety of clientele with our DJs' music knowledge. Some of our DJs are more club performers. They do a lot of high-profile things on the side. Mm-hmm. And then some of ours are just straight wedding DJs, and that's what they specialize in. We have DJs that can accommodate virtually any style of international music. We have DJs who are fluent in other languages, including Spanish and Korean. We have a female DJ, so besides my assistant, we've got one female DJ, so 3 girls on the team.
Okay.
So
go girls.
Exactly.
And how do you match up the DJ with the event? Is there like a rhythm or a pattern that you do, or is it basically who's available at the time?
Well, availability always factors in a little bit, which is why it's important that all of our DJs can be versatile to work with a wide variety of clients. That being said, we do have a really detailed questionnaire that we have our clients fill out prior to being matched with a DJ. And so we're able to take their preferences with regards to music and personality of the DJ and then match them with someone who's going to be able to do a great job. Then the client has the opportunity to meet with that DJ prior to making a decision so that they know if they book our company, they're going to know exactly who they're going to be working with. They'll have that trust and rapport, which is really important.
Okay. And within the DJ industry, I know that there's some common myths that are out there as far as booking a DJ or just hiring a DJ for an event. Can you discuss some of those myths that are out there?
Sure. There's actually 3 that come to mind. One is that a DJ isn't truly essential, and I feel like that's starting to kind of turn around a little bit. For a while there, though, there were a lot of people that seemed to promote the idea of the iPod DJ, that you could program your iPod and rent speakers and then save that money to use on something else at your wedding. It's not the same thing. The DJs do so much more than just playing music, which actually leads into my second myth, which is that DJs are just standing there pressing play. A great DJ is attuned to so many things during the wedding. They're working behind the scenes with the couple that's getting married and with the other vendors. They're basically paying attention to what the crowd is doing, their reactions to the music. They're taking requests. They're mixing music on the fly. So it's a lot more than just pressing play over and over again. And then the third myth is that DJs are those bad, cheesy stereotypes that everyone seems to have. It drives me crazy. You don't know how many times I hear people mentioning that they don't want the wedding singer at their wedding, and the wedding singer wasn't even a DJ. He was in a band.
He wasn't.
Somehow that got associated with bad DJs. Certainly for a long time there were DJs that made money being really cheesy and over the top. We've really found our success in providing those polished, understated services where our goal is to just keep the energy up in the room without resorting to any, ridiculous, over the top antics. We're really there to just kind of tell the story of the day through music.
Okay, wonderful. So you talked about how, the benefits of a DJ. Let's go into the segment of band versus DJ. Talk about some of the pros and cons of that.
Sure, that's definitely a topic that comes up often. A lot of the clients that contact us are still in the process of making their decision how they want to go as far as entertainment. I'm definitely not going to lie, there are some pros to having a band. Bands are definitely showy. It's a great visual when people come into the room and see a band playing. Bands can also adapt to a lot of cool themes and really kind of help further those. That being said, there is no more versatile option than a DJ. And that's a big selling point for DJs, the fact that we're able to play such a wide variety of music. I have yet to come across any couples that don't want to have a really diverse array of music playing during their wedding, and DJs are able to do that. They're playing the familiar versions of songs that people know. You're not dealing with any weird interpretations of a song. And then another big thing is that the DJs can go with the flow a lot easier than a band can. If the band's in the middle of a set and something goes wrong, if one of the formalities needs to be delayed or something like that, it's not exactly like you can walk up on the stage and get the DJ or get the band leader's attention. With a DJ, the planner or the couple or anyone else is able to approach, they're able to request music, the DJ can accommodate changes on the fly, so that's definitely a big plus there.
I reiterate that to my clients also when they're trying to make that decision, is that the DJ is more versatile, because if your clients want to make special requests or just run up and say, oh, hey, can you play this? The band probably will say no, whereas in the DJ say, give me a couple of seconds and I'll put it on for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
What are some important things that clients should know when they're hiring a professional DJ?
There's actually a few things that they're going to want to look for. One is going to be the professionalism of the DJ. There's a lot of different ways to gauge that, but some of the things you're going to want to look for are whether they carry full liability insurance for their team. You're also going to want to check their reputation as well, and you can do that by searching out their reviews online, just seeing kind of what the reputation that they have amongst their peers is. Ask the other vendors that they've booked what their opinion is, and that can really go a long way. Another thing that's really important is that you should always be able to meet your DJ prior to signing a contract. It's really important not to sign based on just the company's reputation, because you might not know who they're using as contractors for their company. A good DJ company will enable you to be matched with a DJ prior to signing a contract. You'll be able to meet that DJ and see if it's somebody that you trust, because they have so much influence on your day. They're there on the microphone, they're choosing music. It's important to make sure that they understand where you're coming from and that you can be guaranteed that they'll be the one that you're working with on your wedding day.
Okay, wonderful. I always tell my clients also, there's two things that your guests will remember. They'll remember the food and the entertainment, and your DJ is a part of that entertainment that thrives and is like the pulse and the beat of what's happening in the energy in the room.
Absolutely.
Okay. What makes MyDeejay so successful?
I think there's a couple of things, but the thing that comes to mind the most is the emphasis that we put on consistency. That's what has helped us to grow from starting out with just one DJ, who was my business partner at the time, slowly over time growing to have 12 DJs. It's because of the emphasis we put on the MyDeejay experience. And that has to do with how we treat our clients, our performing style, how we interact with the other vendors. And now people know that they can refer us, and regardless of which DJ works the event, the clients are going to have a similar experience. It's extremely consistent, and I think that that's really helped us to be successful.
Wonderful. And that's in correlation to the next question is, I saw that you all have 10 core values that you all transcend onto your clients. Kind of talk about that and how that relates to your success.
Sure. Our core values, which I won't sit here and rattle off, but really they were created to be kind of a compass for how we were going to treat our clients and how we were going to run our business. So a lot of the things that come to mind have to do with consistency, with reliability, with education, putting as much information out there to our clients, really operating our company with integrity and letting our clients know that we have their best interests in mind, and that way they know that they can trust our company and trust our DJs. That's been a really important thing, and everybody in our company adheres to those.
Wonderful. Where did the name MyDeejay come from?
MyDeejay, it came because...
From the song?
It did not, but that's handy. No, we actually, when we started the company, we had huge ideas. We were very visionary, and what we wanted was a name that was obviously going to be memorable, a name that we could possibly look at expanding in the future. We wanted a name that was going to have a kind of a national feel or even an international feel to it, and that we would be able to kind of replicate what we do in different areas in the future if that's what we wanted to do. Okay. It also stood out from some of the companies out there that had, whether somebody's initials or whether it was, just some generic adjective. We wanted something that was going to kind of stand out. And I'm not going to lie, we also wanted a domain name that was going to have some value in the future, which it does. So.
And what makes you different from other DJ companies?
One of the things that comes to mind is the emphasis that we put on the relationship between the client and the DJ. As I mentioned before, we match clients with the DJ prior to the client signing a contract. From that point on, the DJ and the client are working together pretty much exclusively. So that DJ is accessible to the client throughout the entire planning process. The clients have their personal cell phones, they have their email, and that DJ is partnering with them throughout the entire planning process. We have a lot of clients who consider their DJ to be their friend long after the wedding, which is wonderful. And I think the fact that we put that emphasis on that relationship so early in the process really sets us apart.
That's wonderful. I've worked with some other DJ companies out there, and you don't have that opportunity to talk with the DJ before. You always have to go through someone else before getting to that person, and it kind of makes things a little complicated.
Sure.
What major changes have you seen in the industry regarding music?
As far as music, I think that people are getting more and more comfortable with personalizing their music to their tastes. I think that when I first started in the industry, which was several years before forming MyDeejay, I noticed that a lot of weddings kind of felt the same with their music. They'd have the oldies and then they'd have the more current stuff, but it really didn't seem to be personalized to the couple. And now I feel like people are putting a lot of thought into their playlist. They're including styles of music and songs that have personal meaning to them or to their guests, and really getting a lot more creative with it. And a good DJ is able to work with any kind of music and still keep that dance floor packed.
Okay. Do you ever ask or assist clients with selecting their music for their particular event?
I would consider
or do they come with a song list?
Almost everybody comes with at least a partial song list, sometimes too long of a song list. People go a little crazy. But almost all the clients who contact us have a pretty strong idea of what they want to hear. We consider ourselves to be a partner with our clients and a resource for them. We can help them take their favorite songs and figure out a way to translate that into a full dance floor. And sometimes that has to do with kind of adding to their list a little bit. Sometimes that has to do with figuring out where in the reception that music will fit in the best. And I think that that's something that our clients really appreciate is, again, how much emphasis we put on working with them so that they know that we're really going to help translate what their tastes are to the kind of wedding that they want to have.
Do you ever get someone that puts like a wacky song in there, you're like, oh no?
We get a few wacky songs sometimes, occasionally, and really, it's ultimately, we're there to please our client, but most of our clients want to have a particular kind of wedding. So if we see a song request that seems to kind of be in conflict with what we know their idea is, we'll talk to them in advance and find out how they want us to handle it. There's usually a way to work in almost anything.
Okay. And so you kind of educate them on the flow of the music throughout the event, trying to make sure that things run smoothly throughout the night and making sure that it makes sense.
Absolutely. There's definitely an approach you can take that ensures that at the end of the wedding, everybody feels like they heard music that they recognized and wanted to dance to. Everybody feels included by the end, but ultimately the couple still feels like the wedding really kind of highlighted their tastes as well.
All right, wonderful. And in relation to that, making sure that they have a well-balanced selection of music in the room that kind of transcends across all ages, all ethnic backgrounds. How would your DJs know how to balance? Do you all ask those questions ahead of time to kind of know like who's going to be in the room?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As part of both our initial meeting and then most importantly in that final meeting before the wedding, we're going to be talking to them about kind of the demographics of their guests, you know, age-wise, older, younger, whether you're looking at, you know, a lot of college friends. Sometimes there's songs that are important, things like that. If there's a lot of older guests in attendance, you're going to want to start off with some older music and things like that. If there is some international music that's needed, we'll talk to clients about kind of the ratio that they're looking, you know, of international music to American music and how to kind of balance that out. And really by having those conversations in advance, it really ensures the success of the wedding.
Okay, wonderful. And so how do people find out about MyDeejay?
We are very, very much a web-based company. That's been a big thing from the start and something that set us apart at the beginning. So finding us online at our website is a great idea. It's just www.mydeejay.com. We have almost 600 great reviews on Reitmeyer. People can read about us there. We have a pretty strong social media presence as well. If people come to our website, they can read all about us. They can find the exact price for their date. And then if they just fill out our contact form, we'll be right in touch to match them with a great DJ.
And I know that our video segment primarily highlights weddings, but do you do more than just weddings?
We do. We do primarily weddings. We also do corporate events, and then we'll do social events for grown-ups. We're not really a kid party kind of a company, but we do, especially because of all the weddings and corporate events we've done, we'll get asked to do, you know, adult anniversary parties, you know, retirements, things like that. So we're always happy to help out our clients that way.
And is it just the Washington, D.C. metro area?
We serve a 90-mile radius, so that basically covers the entirety of the D.C. metro area. That covers Northern Virginia. It covers parts of Maryland's Eastern Shore, all the way up to Baltimore and Gettysburg, Pennsylvania as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you for coming in today and speaking with us about MyDeejay
It was my pleasure.
and how people can invite you into their social events to brighten up their parties. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining us today for another segment of You're Cordially Invited. And don't forget to check out MyDeejay at www.mydeejay.com.